Well, hello and welcome. Where are you at now?
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Welcome to the Crypto Crew. On behalf of all of us, we are glad you tuned in today. This is our maiden voyage of the Crypto Crew, and we're here for the purpose of just to introduce folks to this new world of cryptocurrency that we discovered 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And we have not been able to get it out of our craw.
Man, you can't.
Exactly.
It's like that new girlfriend. You just can't. You just can't.
I can't stop
Can't
thinking
stop
about
talking
it.
about it, man.
Been
Just
talking
talk
about
it,
her,
man.
yeah. It really is. It's an opportunity, too, for just the regular guys. And that's who we are.
Yeah.
We're just regular guys. We're not
Gurus.
Yeah, we're
and
not
the-
Wall Street
and
guys.
Wall
so
Street
we're
guys
not
or any of
gonna
that.
find
We're
us.
just guys that have wives, kids. and
Yeah.
we live in this economy, we make a living. All of us have different backgrounds and different.
Right.
As a matter of fact, why don't we introduce ourselves? That'd be a good thing. Maybe, Pat, you could start off and we'll just go down here.
Sure.
Tell a little bit about yourself so the folks out there know who we are.
Well, I'm Pat, or I go by Crypto PJ, and I've been in the financial services industry for the last 15 years, mostly in the insurance business, dealing with Medicare and life insurance and things of that nature. But got involved with this through a friend of mine in regards to cryptocurrency, and it was something for me for which I'd heard the term cryptocurrency and Bitcoin years ago, but just thought it was a fad.
Okay.
Didn't think anything of it because it
Boy, I wish I did the same thing. I wish I'd not thought of that.
Yeah.
I wish I'd have said, hey, let's get in it.
Exactly. So I just really kind of had information on it, but didn't act on it. And I think that was probably my biggest mistake ever.
Yeah.
And I just said, well, it's too new and it's nobody really understands it, so I'm just not going to take the time to figure this out. I was wrong.
Well, the ship hasn't completely sailed, though.
Nope, it's still, you can still see it
Yeah,
on
but
the
it's-
horizon.
Yeah,
but
and you
it's
can
moving.
catch a dinghy and get out there
Yeah,
right
you
now.
better get
Start
on. You
paddling
better
as
get your
fast as you
ticket.
It's
can.
not too late.
That's
Time to
right.
get your
So
ticket,
before
man.
that ship takes off out of the bay.
Exactly. So yeah, I'll roll it over here to Martin.
Well, thanks, Pat. I go by Crypto Daddy, and I've been in, I guess, the financial service for about 10 years now. But the thing that amazes me is how we haven't been taught to look for opportunities.
Yeah.
And this is an opportunity that the average Joe can take advantage of. And it seems like it comes in once or twice in your lifetime. And I think this is the time in your life where you take an opportunity for this, because I think this is a life-changing event. It's going to affect you one way or another, whether it's the Bitcoin or the technology that's behind it. You're going to be involved in it. And so the more you understand it, the better advantage that you can take. So that's what we're trying to talk about, is just taking advantage of this cryptocurrency opportunity and remove the opinions.
Exactly.
Because that's basically what most people are sharing right now. They're just sharing their opinions. They haven't did any studying. They haven't talked to anyone. They just throwing it out there because it's something new that they haven't heard anything but what you heard, Bitcoin. And so what is it? I don't know. I just know it's dark and it's unknown, so I'm leaving it alone. But we want to remove that mystery of what Bitcoin is and what that technology and how it's going to affect this country and this world. One way or another, you're going to be affected by it.
Good.
Everybody call me BitcoinMoses. I have a computer background, did real estate for a bit, and also did Forex
Trading, yeah.
trading.
That's right. That's your
And,
forte.
Yeah, and in this particular market, this is Forex on steroids. And you don't have to do a bunch of training and all of this other stuff that I've gone through. It's very simple. If you keep it simple, you can get in and make some money.
Yeah, it's the way to do it. And now, you don't have to be a whiz kid just to, anybody that bought cryptocurrency at 10 cents a coin back in 2010, if they bought $1,000 worth, you and I, we've all figured this, $43 million.
That's
You
crazy.
Bought 1,000 of those 10 cent
But you
coins.
know why? It's because the person stopped and said, what is Bitcoin?
So we're going to try to answer that.
And guys, don't wait to get into Bitcoin. When I heard about Bitcoin, I guess me and you heard about it years ago.
Yeah.
Yep.
I got in when it was right around $1,200. Now it's up.
That was just 6 months ago.
Yeah, that was just 6 months ago. Now it's up to 14, and it's going to continue to go up. So
Yeah,
there's
40
no
yeah.
magic number to get in.
43, it's amazing.
But it's going to be harder for average Joe to chase it.
In
Yeah.
2 years from now,
Because it's getting so big that he'll always be chasing it. He'll never ride it.
Yeah.
He'll just be chasing it.
So we encourage you, tune into this show, subscribe to this show, and you don't have to feel intimidated by Bitcoin and your knowledge or not. We're not the sharpest guys. We're not stupid either, and you're not either. Don't let nobody tell you you're stupid about Bitcoin because it's out there on the internet. Oh, by the way, I'm GW, and I'm in the advertising business. I've been doing it for about 30 years, I have, all of us have full-time jobs. It's not that you ain't got time for it either.
Right.
You know, you got time to make
do
$1
it in
million,
your car,
don't you? So if you can make $1 million in the next year, would you
stop?
take a little time?
Yeah.
You need to take a little time, get a little knowledge. Don't let this, pass you by. But anyway, the whole thing's intrigued me as well. I got in about the same time you did, and we got associated through actually a negative experience with Bitcoin, but that didn't stop us because I think we understand the world does change. We're not young bucks anymore. We've seen some of these changes back in the year, 94 when the internet started coming on. I think I got my computer about that time, and I was in
big old.
Yeah, I worked for a TV station. It was a big old clunker, a North Star, I think it was, or something like that. I can't remember the name. But we had like a green screen and old databases sticking there with a floppy disk. But there's a lot of that brings back some memories. Some of the folks may not even know what we're talking about.
Floppy disk is. Yeah.
But nonetheless, it was a
it's like the 8-track.
the 8-track. Yeah, they know probably what that is. But
that's even worse, man.
We're telling our age here.
well, we're telling right. But the point is that the technology has gone so fast, and if we would have been savvy in some of those areas back then, I think you were in college about that time, learning it.
Yeah, I was learning about this.
You've actually was an IT graduate, but even then, the entrepreneurship of it and knowing what you know as an entrepreneur now, that wasn't quite built into you at the point. You were just learning, getting the knowledge of how the internet worked.
Drifting.
It was a good opportunity.
Kind of drifting.
Don't miss out on this by getting involved in the sticks. Let's find out where the opportunities are with this kind of a show, and it is legitimate. A lot of people think it's not.
Yeah.
We've some of the articles that we've scanned this week. We've all brought in some articles that we've picked up. Well, this is one here, Mark Cuban. You got. You sent me a video on that.
Yeah, you guys know about Mark Cuban from Shark Tank?
Shark Tank, yeah.
Earlier this year, Mark Cuban said that this was a big bubble.
Joke.
It was a joke. I mean, just 3 months ago.
He laughed at it. Well, he also didn't predict the outcome of the election, but that's okay.
That's a whole nother thing.
That's part of the
Let's not go there. But anyway, Mark Cuban has been wrong, and I bet he'd tell you that.
Well, Mark Cuban,
he's smart enough to figure it out.
And what he did just a couple of weeks ago, he has invested in a cryptocurrency.
Not just a few dollars.
No,
millions.
About 20 million.
Yeah, 20 million.
Yeah.
Is it a hedge fund or what is it called?
Yeah. It's what do they say here? It's a new blockchain technology, and it has an initial coin offering. Now that's another thing. You'll hear this word, and it's just started coming out around us. 2 words. You'll hear blockchain, and we'll go into that in a little bit too. And you'll hear another word, ICO. Everybody has heard of an IPO. That was big back in when we were in the internet days. Remember all these companies getting the funds together to start these things like.
But this is the new technology
YouTube
trend.
or whatever. This is a whole new deal. So there's a blockchain technology that he has invested in, and it's got a ICO, an initial coin offering. So there's a company that has created a coin based upon this blockchain we're talking about. Mark, why don't you explain what the blockchain is? Because people just get, what? Blockchain?
I mean, I'm still trying to learn and understand it too because I'm not an IT guy, but the blockchain is a open ledger. How transactions are done, just a transaction. Doesn't matter whether it's electrical, accounting, just transactions, because that's all the internet does. It just does transactions.
But the way it was in the past, it was all
centralized.
Client server, centralized.
Right. Blockchain removes that, so it adds trust. So one thing, nothing can be hacked.
Give us a good analogy, an example.
Well, the banking is the easiest, isn't it?
Probably so. You would say the banking scenario, and that's why the banks are watching it right now.
Oh, they're all over like a cheap suit.
So he kind of tying it in, just to tie it in. Bank of America has filed 9 more blockchain patents.
9 more
application, meaning they've already done some.
They go through all this trouble and spend $250 an hour for attorneys to file
because they already
because
see
this is a phony baloney technology.
They already see the new technology, and they know that it's going to affect their fee-based
merchant accounts and stuff. Merchant
all
accounts
that,
for everything.
Yeah, which is $800 billion. Supposedly, the banks make that kind of money.
Oh, they make the fees on what? Our
fees,
card
whether
transactions. They make quite a bit on me on overdrafts over the years when I was
used to work in a bank.
Right. They even come up with ways of how they can come up with fees. So, yeah, that's how they make their money. So they come up with ways of how to make fees. So Bank of America, so the big boys are getting in on this because they already see it coming down the chain, how this transactional world is going to change through blockchain and through Bitcoin, because that's basically what it is.
You know, one of the big things that they've been able to do here recently to make money is they don't pay any interest. Well, have you noticed that? Mm-hmm. I remember when I was a young guy, of course, houses
they charge you interest but won't pay you.
They would charge you interest then, but they would also pay you interest then. You know, you could buy a house at 9, 10, 11% interest. It was high for a house. It's low now. It's 4 and 5 and stuff like that.
Thanks, our
but
Federal Reserve.
You could get CDs at 14.
You can't get it now.
No way. Oh, poor grandma. She's trying to live on 1%.
That ain't gonna happen, man.
1% and hold her money for
They're not even giving you 1%. Well, on a CD they might.
But
well, when you think about the logic of a bank in the first place. You take your money to this institution, and they say, okay, well, I'll take your money. Mm-hmm. But now for me to hold on to your money, I'm going to charge you a fee on a monthly basis. Now, if you want to take that money out and transfer it from one account to another account, if you do it too many times, I'm going to charge you a fee.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, but I'm going to make it convenient for you. If you want to use your debit card and go to an ATM machine, I'll let you do that so you can take cash out. But I'll charge you a fee. Now, this is your money.
Yeah.
But at the same time, every time that you want to do something with your money, I'm going to charge you a fee. Well, and you can't even take too much money out of your account unless I give you approval to do so.
Yep.
So
what you say,
really
approval?
Cryptocurrency, what it's actually doing, it's making you the bank.
Mm-hmm.
It's decentralizing.
The Swiss bank.
You'll hear another word, decentralizing. All the time in the cryptocurrency and the Bitcoin. Decentralized. That's what you'd mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
And everything was built on the old client server basis. That's what you learned in college, wasn't it? Client server. Mm-hmm. And that's what kept the trust, because the server was where we went to find out where the information was, and all of the formulas and everything were in there, and the security was in there, and all of that, and so we could go
in a separate location.
In a separate location, nobody could get to it, and they had their codes and everything. What do they call that? Crypto. What do they call it? Cryptology.
That's what it's called.
Yeah. So anyway, now it's changed it. Mm-hmm. We've turned it around. That has changed it. Oh, buddy, that has changed it. I've got new and old in here. I got cards in here and right now you can go, whoop, you can take it to the bank and or someplace to pay. Like what are they? iPhone. What do they call their pay? Apple Pay.
Yeah, you got Apple Pay.
And then there's Samsung
PayPal
Pay.
and all that.
Yeah, there's all kinds of ways to do it. But this is transcending even that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is transcending that, because what we're doing now is, if I wanted to send you, let's say, $10,000, you call me up and say, Gary, I'm down here in Mexico. My car, blew up.
Yeah, could you? Yeah, I'm running short.
I'm running short. I want to get back. Can you send me $10,000 because I need to get this, not only is car fixed, but I've run into a fine for the car being on the highway, and these guys down here are not friendly to Americans. They're going to charge me up the yin-yang for this. But could you get that money and send it to me?
Well, let's talk that transaction.
And I need it now, because if I don't get him paid, I'm
what you're going to have to do, Gary, you're going to have to run to your car and get in your car. You're going to have to go to Western Union.
Well, your car's broke down.
Well,
Now
you're
you're
gonna
gonna
have to walk.
through the
You're gonna have to
streets.
walk.
You have to Uber.
You got to
You gotta
Uber.
Uber
I
something.
guess
Uber or
Mexicans
Lyft.
have Uber.
Yeah,
Down in
I don't
Mexico?
know. They even got that there,
All
but
right, well.
you're gonna have to get to a Western Union because that's the third party person that's the going
The
between
trust.
that's the
Yep.
person that you build as the trust between the two of us for the transaction. They're gonna charge you $40, $50 to do that transaction.
Not even more.
Oh, more
If
than
not
that,
more.
at least.
And then your bank's going to charge you an international fee because you're using your checking account. And then it may take a day before you actually get that money.
By then, the police down there in Mexico are going to have you
In jail or
Yeah,
whatever it is.
or whatever,
But
and then
whatever
you're
the
going to have
scenario
more
is.
fines.
There you go.
But if you call me up, I'm going to send you that money,
Boom.
and I'm going to go from me to you.
Boom. Peer to
They call
peer.
it peer to peer.
Boom.
Right.
In
And-
2 minutes.
But then people say, "Oh, well, you can't trust that. You know, how can you trust that the money's going to get there?" Thus, Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies use the what?
Blockchain.
baby. That is the
Verification.
railroad this sucker runs
That's
down.
right.
And it's verified by all the computers
Boom.
out there
Exactly.
and the miners.
Exactly.
That's
mine-
a whole nother story.
That's
That's
a
a whole
whole nother world,
We
man.
have got so much to cover, guys. This is the first show, and we got so much to cover. I can hardly, contain myself. I think that Did we talk yet about where Bitcoin is?
Bitcoin,
What it is.
Because Bitcoin is the big mama.
it's the big brother.
It's the big brother. It's
Everybody's following him.
It's the 500 to 1,000-pound gorilla in the room, right? I mean, and nobody's talking about it but the people in the know. Let's take a look at this. Almost, and I'm gonna go ahead and
Refresh that.
oh,
See.
it made
Look
it
at
to
it. See?
43. There we go.
43.01.
It just jumped up.
43.01 per coin, man.
Per
How much is
coin.
gold going for right now? Does anybody know?
1,300, that's something like that.
Well, we can
Last
find
time I
out.
looked-
Yeah, look that up.
Last time I looked, it was like
See what
12,
gold is.
7.
And we're not dissing, we're not dissing it, but just to give you an example of the
Just to give you an
difference
example of the value.
of the value of it.
One of the things that I was talking about in regards to banks, this is going to be a major disruption for the banking industry
Yeah.
as a whole. And that's
Yeah,
why
boy.
if there is any negative comments that are coming out of there, you might still want to check behind why those comments are coming. Because
It's
here in
1293.
Tulsa, Oklahoma, almost every mile you go, there's a bank on a corner.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been popping up left and right.
How
is that possible?
I go to my bank, nobody's there.
Yeah, but yet the banks keep popping up all over the place. But what's going to happen over the next several years, some of these banks are going to start closing down.
Yep.
Because of the fact that if currency is no longer having to be routed through these buildings
Central banks.
of institutions, and instead using your phone or using whatever, your computer to actually do transactions, we don't need to go to these banks, these
Yep.
buildings anymore in order to put our money in for which they charge us a fee to do that.
But Pat, you brought up a good point. When does the bank do most of their transactions? It's at night.
Yeah,
It's the back office.
That's when they what they do.
They
They
reconcile
Yeah, that's when they update
reconcile their ledger.
they reconcile their ledger. They do that at night, so that's going to remove all their back office work. The banks, they already know
That's why
so-
it takes a day or two. To
Yeah,
get your money.
exactly. It used to take
Days.
days to pass a check,
Yep.
but now it's moments. And so this blockchain and the Bitcoin scenario, they know they're going to get pushed back, so they're going to push back against it.
Well,
They're
they're
gonna
not asleep at the wheel.
Oh no, they're going to get
Now,
involved in it.
folks, we all might be somewhat asleep at the wheel, or
But they're
uninformed.
not. They've been talking about it for years now.
They know what's
They
going
know.
on.
And
Hey
there's
guys,
sweat.
what do you think
There's
is going to
sweat.
happen when the minimum wage goes to $15 per person?
Oh, somebody losing a job.
They're losing a job.
That's right.
It's going to go automated. It's going to go automation. That's what they're going to do.
And this technology is going to
There you
promote.
go.
I hate to say
It's
it.
I hate
but
to say it. I think
It's already
I think everybody's worth at least $15
Exactly.
an hour
Yeah, but
because
you-
you got to have that.
you better
Now,
know something.
I feel bad for these young couples today. They got both a good starting job, getting out of school or whatever, and they might be making $15,
That's
$18
about it.
an hour. You know, they might
Yeah.
be making that if they've got a good degree to get started. You know, 40,000
Yeah.
a year, and but when you take taxes involved in that, they're actually getting, and knowing the rents the way they are, and what to buy a really nice car, a decent car, 4-door sedan or even just a 2-door sedan, it starts eating away at that check right away.
Don't have a baby.
Don't have a baby right away, and that's why the parents are, they want the grandbabies, but they tell the young people, why don't you wait a little while, have a honeymoon for a while, because you got to get up into your job, and it's just like it's all set against them.
Yep.
I feel bad.
It's a setup.
If you think about it, think about what I'm getting ready to say. 70% of people in America have bad credit.
That's sad.
70%, which means
That breaks your heart.
yeah. So everything when they get a credit card, everything that they buy, they're paying high interest.
If they get one,
If they can get one.
it's going to be paying 29%.
Yep.
The highest usury rate out there.
Right.
Used to have usury laws years ago.
Right.
It came from our Judeo-Christian background where the Jewish faith did not believe in, they had a year of Jubilee, they didn't believe in doing that.
Unjust usury, as they call it.
Unjust usury, putting
Heavy
weights
debt.
on people's backs that they wouldn't bear themselves. So even though they've controlled banking, a lot of that culture has controlled a lot of the banking and have been involved in banking. They also had, at one time, a real conscience about it.
Right.
And they had usury laws in our country that didn't allow you to charge that much
gouge
interest.
people.
Boy, that's what happened where the dam broke in that industry was when they started one state. Okay, one of the we have a great country, but one of the little problems with state laws. I've been on this all this time, haven't I? Okay, let's go back over here. You can see our pretty mugs. Okay. All right, let's do that first. Well, Carl, I hope I can get over there. Carl's helping me out here. Carl, I'm not doing a very good job of this. There we go. Okay, here we go. But one of the things that states will do, a state law, was passed up in, I think it was Nebraska or somewhere, that allowed banks to set up there, and you could pay as high as 29% interest.
Wow.
And so all the banks started moving there and doing their credit card processing there because that state will but we all are still, we're subject to that state. I wish that would be changed. But in Nebraska, you can charge 29%. Everywhere else, it's going to have to be 8 or 9%.
It set a precedent.
They set a precedent. But now we're all suffering it. And a young couple that has bad credit, or 70% of the population, the banks, they serve a purpose. However, and they still could probably serve a purpose. However, this is going to upset their little apple cart.
That's right.
That's all it is, man. It's they're gonna have to give up some of their market share.
Just all it is.
And I mean, we use that analogy of Uber and Lyft. They tapped into the $1 billion industry of the cab industry because of an app. Technology. So you can get picked up in 5 minutes versus 30 minutes.
Or 2
minutes, or even longer. And
you pay less.
Man, you pay less.
Cars don't stink.
Yeah, and they're pushing back on it instead of embracing it and creating an app so they can get some of their market share back.
They should create their own app.
That's all I'm saying. But they're not going to do it. They're going to push back and say you can't have it.
You know what they tried to do? Here's the thing. They've all tried, and the industry does this all the time, and it's wrong. And the guys that we hired to go to Washington aren't watching our backs because they allow these special interests to get in there and set the laws up to favor someone over the other when there should be a level playing field. That should be the mantra.
But who's the biggest lobbyist? Banks.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to have the biggest influence in your country.
But you know what goes around comes around.
Yep.
And this is what's come around.
And
they're trying to, now wait a minute. To tell you the truth, here we go. Here's one of the articles. It says Bank of America files 9 blockchain patents.
9 already. So they already got some in there.
This is an obscure Bitcoin and a cryptocurrency news service that I picked this off of. And, or no, wait a minute. I think it was Fortune Magazine online.
Okay.
I picked this one up. But they are catching the future there. And they're keeping kind of quiet, and they're capitalizing on it. They would like to get their arms around it, but you know what? There's a level playing field, and we see there's opportunity.
Yeah.
And that's the key
we want
right
to
there.
help you with that same opportunity. We all have a way to contact
Don't run
us.
from this.
Don't
Yeah.
run from this.
Don't
It's
run
not
from it.
spooky.
Yeah.
You know, people say, oh, it's all about
it's a dark
holding
web.
people
Yeah,
hostage.
yeah.
It's a dark web. Well, you know, cash has been used all the time for hostage
Yes, right.
takings. Cash has been used for
Evil.
for evil, drug
Always
running,
has.
prostitution.
Always has.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Slave, sex
Yeah,
slave industry.
it's always been there.
And it's always going to be there.
Yeah.
It's unfortunately. We
Yeah.
got to fight against it, but it's always going to be there. So it's not such a bad thing on its own.
Well, I think probably one of the things that needs to be at least explained initially is what is cryptocurrency?
Yeah.
What is
Let's
Bitcoin?
get to it.
You know,
Yeah. Let's get down to
we keep
it.
using the term cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, and a lot of people don't even know the difference between the two, or is there a difference, or are they the same? So somebody just throw that out there as to what is cryptocurrency, what is Bitcoin, and how does this whole thing work, so that people have at least a reference to how it works. Anybody want to take a hold of it?
My easiest way to explain that, and you guys jump in anytime you want, but my easiest way to do that is go back to this chart. And this chart has all the cryptocurrencies that are out there. And just to give you an idea, I guess I got to be over here to do that. I'm trying to grab it on the other screen. And there's like the top 100 here. They got all kinds of cryptocurrencies, but if I click this view all, it'll go past 1,000.
Yeah.
There's 1,000 cryptocurrencies out there. So what is this cryptocurrency? Well, the big daddy mama here is Bitcoin. And Bitcoin was created, and I've got an article you can get at, I've got an article I got off of Wikipedia.
Wikipedia. Yeah.
Okay?
Satoshi
Satoshi
Nakamoto.
Nakamoto. I don't know Japanese very well, but that's the name of the guy who created a algorithm that, and a white paper,
Right.
that initiated the first cryptocurrency being Bitcoin. And so it's just like when people talk about Kleenex. It
Xerox.
might be, or Xerox.
Xerox.
The copy. You're talking about copier, but the person that got into the market first and got the lion's share of the attention of people is what they call it in general. It's not. It's really cryptocurrency. The big daddy mama of the one that got it started was Bitcoin. And it's kind of the gold. And it doesn't have a CEO, doesn't have a bricks and mortar building attached
There's
to
no
it.
institution tied
There's
to
no
it.
institution tied to it. There are a group of miners and people who have been involved from the beginning that are that debate how we should help it out, or make it work better, and all of that. So they kind of control that part of it. But it's pretty much an animal all of its
By
own.
itself.
Now these cryptocurrencies, these other ones that you saw on that list, they are backed up by. Well, there's some of them. You guys know the names. Why don't y'all jump in?
You got Dash, you got Monero, you got
Yep.
Augur,
Litecoin,
you got Litecoin, you got Ripple, you got
and these are
tons of
coins
them.
that are built on the same, what we call the blockchain. Same technology or the same algorithms, but they are a unique coin within themselves. And each one of these cryptocurrency coins are have a different kind of recipe and benefit to those who use them. So a lot of their value, not only in the fact that they're mined to attract, to get them, but a lot of their value is what they provide for mankind, what they provide for an industry. And the better they are, the more valuable they are, more people need them and want them to apply in their industry.
You're exchanging values, and that's the biggest thing.
I don't know if that explained it anymore.
Well, it kind of, I guess a lot of times people want to know, how can I use a Bitcoin? Because I think that kind of,
or how do I turn it into
how
American
do I do
money?
it? Yeah, like for
U.S. currency.
Yeah, how do you do it? Typically, how do you get a Bitcoin? Well, typically you got to go through use your own money. You use quote fiat money is what we just gonna call it what it is, fiat money. Let's say, and you put your money into your bank account, and then you turn around and you go to one exchange that we know. It's called Coinbase, and it takes about 3 days for them to verify your account, and then they're gonna ask you, they're gonna make a little deposit, like maybe 1 cent or 2 cents, and you have to verify with them that that amount came out of your account.
Just like when you set up a merchant account.
Exactly. And then you can transfer money out of your checking account into Coinbase. And from Coinbase is the exchange.
And it's very reliable.
It's real reliable. And then you can start purchasing Bitcoins
And
or Ethereum, Litecoin.
All the cryptocurrency.
Yeah, now you basically enter the world of cryptocurrency.
Now you can take that and go somewhere else.
Yeah, now you can go all over the place, because it says, okay, there are cryptocurrencies out here, and I've done my homework, and these are some of the ones that I would like to purchase.
Right.
And then you find out with this particular cryptocurrency, I can purchase or exchange value with someone else, whether it's send them and do an exchange, or if we got to the point now that you can buy a Lamborghini with Bitcoin.
Surprised.
So they're getting ahead of the game.
A Lamborghini.
They want to be one of the first
I heard
to do
you
it.
guys talking about
Mercedes-Benz is on track. Subway is on track. I'm sure there are quite a few others out there that are now accepting.
I think I was doing some travel, checking out
You got the BitPay card. It's already here. There's a ton of them.
Expedia. Yeah, that was one.
PayPal is getting on board because they see the new trend and they see the money. So they said, we better get on board and catch it, because if we don't, we're going to get ran over by it. So they're trying to get ahead of the game. And so that's what Bitcoin is. It's you can transfer money from here to Japan, Australia to someone. And we also know that 40% of the world or more has never had a checking account. So this opens the door for them to do transactions that have never done transactions
lifts them out
before.
of poverty.
Exactly.
It lifts them out of poverty.
Exactly.
That's
so
exactly right.
that's the scenario, man. It's just that.
Exactly.
And it's going to get better, because they're going to iron out some of the things just through the process of doing this. There are going to be some that fall off the wagon, and there are going to be some Bitcoins,
Probably
cryptocurrencies that get on the wagon.
guys that have been in this much longer than we have, they talk about that about 90% of the coins are just not worth much.
Yeah.
You know, they're people trying,
Just people
entrepreneurs trying to come
to do
up with something.
Yeah.
But there are some key
players
That's going to transcend. They're going to survive.
They're going to survive. Key players
Right.
out
They're going to get deeply rooted.
Yep.
And
they've got valid technologies.
Boom. And they're going to be able to handle it.
And what it's going to take is those other coins, if they have a valid technology or whatever, to come up. There's one out there, and I'm not promoting the use of marijuana, but you know, in many states, I forget, there's a
Colorado?
Colorado, I think California.
California.
Yeah, they've legalized
28 states now.
Yeah, they've legalized marijuana use for medical purposes, and that whole industry's gotten turned upside down because the banks are federal,
Right.
and they can't take their money and just put it in a bank for fear that they'll have their assets frozen because the federal government hasn't
Taxed it.
well, yeah, and they haven't approved.
They haven't legalized. It's on a state level.
State by state
state.
basis.
Right.
So cryptocurrencies come in and been very helpful. There's even a coin now called the pot coin that's been developed just for that
So
industry.
they can transact
They can
among
have
each other.
transactions, and the feds can't get in and freeze their assets, and they can actually do business that the state said that they could do
Within that state.
Yeah. So there's all of these things. Well, we're going to have to wrap it up. We've got
teaser.
so much to cover. Oh, isn't this fun?
Oh, man, it's fun.
And we want to thank you for tuning in. And remember, subscribe to the channel. We'll be here every Saturday
That's
morning.
right.
Sometimes just a few minutes, and sometimes for a long time. But we hope to be a little more structured as we go along and bring reports to you about specific industries that are using cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
Our personal experiences on what we've run into.
I like the word, Gary, disrupt, because that's basically what's going to happen to the major players. Banks, insurance, healthcare, governments are going to be disrupted by this technology, because it's all about information, how it's gathered, and how it's given out. And just like the guy was saying, can it be hacked? No. That's the key to it.
Now,
it can't be hacked.
people hear this, say, well, they won't understand this if they don't understand cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
The an exchange can be hacked.
Right.
Because that's more of a
It's a
client
centralized
server.
place.
It's
Yeah.
a centralized place. Or a wallet can be.
Right.
But the actual transaction comes me to you.
It's
There's no
all
way
on
they
here.
can figure it.
It's private to me.
It's private. It's not going to happen.
All
so
righty.
Thank you guys.
All
We
right.
have
Awesome, folks.
really,
Appreciate you.
we really appreciate you tuning in, and we'll see you next time
Next week.
at same time. We're about about 10 o'clock on a Saturday morning, and from all of us, happy
We're out.
happy Bitcoining.
Peace.
We're out.
We're out.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, there we go.